What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to Late Night CHGO Bulls pregame, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app and be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guys, Big Dave, bow, BAWL Sports.
In your face.
In your face. Will, the GOAT, Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb on Twitter. Our pal producer, Joey Spathis, rocking with us on the controls. He is at Joey Spathis. Follow that man. Are we at 100K followers now, Joey? Now that you got the shout out on YouTube from our pal Ben Dean?
No. We'll hit one. I think I may have had a dream last night that I hit 1K. It's getting so real.
Well, I'm glad to know that you're dreaming about the important things.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
Ooh, 968. You're close, Joey. You're close.
Call me Joey 968 now.
Did they announce it yet?
For Portland?
Oh, Portland. Yeah.
Archie, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I can tweet.
That's for real?
Oh, yeah, that's real. So if you didn't hear what Big Dave just mumbled under his breath just now,
Blazers
the question
broke
was,
Dave.
have you seen this Blazers starting lineup? Is that for real? Yes, it is. That's where we're starting on pregame tonight. Actually, real quick, before we dive into tonight's action, first thing I want to do in pregame is acknowledge the good news that the other member of our CHGO Bulls family, Mark K., has arrived safely back home in Australia.
Yeah.
Joey, do you have that tweet that I sent you of
Can you
his?
now re-arrive
There it is.
back safely in Chicago, please?
Mark K., right there with his man C-Red Ted, back home, back in baby's arms. Mm-hmm. Made me smile when I saw that.
It is amazing, man. Make me smile, too, when I saw it.
I missed him already, but
Yeah,
I'm glad he made it safely back home.
I'm sure his son was just ecstatic to see his dad. And I'm sure he was ecstatic to see his son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that has to be an awesome feeling when you see your kid and your kid sees you for, you haven't seen him in a long time. Like, has to be an awesome feeling. So that picture probably means a lot more than we actually can see. So, yeah, shout out to Mark K. Shout out to the family. Thanks for coming. Come back. Hopefully we get to come down there. And you're awesome. That's the bottom line.
Love it.
That should be a segment. That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. I hate to tell you, but that's the bottom line.
But that's the bottom line.
a co-segment.
I made a graphic for a segment we were going to do before the season started called The Listening with Big Dave. We only did it once.
Yeah,
But
we did it one time.
it was a cool graphic, and it was a cool segment.
It was
We'll
a
have
cool
to bring that
graphic.
back.
It was a really cool graphic, too.
It's a cool segment, too.
Shout out to everybody hanging out in the comments with us in pregame. Jeff, our guy Bulls Troy, Ben Dean's here. Mark K., there you are. Home in time to watch my boys on pregame. Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Okay, yeah. So, Blazers fully aboard the tank, you guys, which from a Bulls fan's perspective, not great, because Bulls fans were hoping for the Blazers to be a competitive team in the West this season so that their draft pick would convey that is lottery protected. Blazers very apparently keen on heading towards the lottery. Here is the injury report for the Blazers tonight. Justice Winslow, who's been out for a long time with a severe ankle sprain, has been out since December, still on the shelf. Jeremy Grant with a quad contusion, out. Anthony Simons, foot soreness, out. Yusuf Nurkic and Damian Lillard, who were both questionable coming into tonight's game. Yusuf Nurkic with knee soreness. Damian Lillard with calf tightness, out. But Nasir Little was questionable and then upgraded to probable as he exited concussion protocol. He is active tonight and available. He will come off the bench because, as Dave mentioned earlier, the Blazers starting lineup. You ready for it? This is via our pal Sean Hyken over there in Portland. Shout out to Sean. Shaedon Sharpe, good, talented young player.
Yeah.
Matisse Thybulle, okay. Trendon Watford.
Who?
What? Huh?
Watford.
Drew Eubanks.
What?
Okay. Rounding out the starting five, Bulls legend Ryan Archie Diacono.
One of my favorite things about Archie is that C-Red Fred just calls him Ryan A.
Ryan A.
Ryan A.
I just love that for some reason.
I
Shout
guess
out
he
to
feels
C-Red
like he does
Fred.
not deserve the full name, the full last name to be said.
Maybe he doesn't want to say it. Maybe, he just doesn't want to put it out there. He's like, hey, Ryan A. That's what you do when guys got those long last names that you might not be able to pronounce. You just, abbreviate that a little bit,
Right.
Giannis.
Giannis, right. But also, it's not hard if you just sound it out syllable by syllable.
It's not.
Archie Diacono.
It's not.
There's a
Matt,
difference
but,
between not knowing the two-time MVP Finals MVP and NBA champions.
True.
How to pronounce that name?
Right.
Then.
But I mean,
Ryan
Archie was also like a big deal in college hoops
This is
before
true.
coming to the
He was.
NBA.
This is
He was
true.
a big deal. He was.
Made the championship winning assist.
Little did we know we'd be.
And they ran that play last night. They ran that
They
set
did. They
last
ran
night.
that same play at the end of UCLA Gonzaga. Gonzaga coughed up that huge lead. It was a wild game, very entertaining.
Very
Coughed up the
entertaining,
huge
yeah.
lead. UCLA hits a 3 late to take a 1-point lead, and then Gonzaga ran that little
They call it
that
the
dump off play.
They call
that
it the
little
Jay Wright
pitchback.
play.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't want to hear nobody else talking that shit of, I like college better because they play the right way. They out there taking logo threes to win the game when they're down by 1.
Right.
They
And-
out there traveling all day. Man, that boy Timmy.
Dude, did you
My
see
God.
that?
My
Did
God.
you see our guy Jason Goff's quote tweet of that?
What'd he
Where,
say?
It's like when people are trying to use capital letters and lowercase letters to make a dumb person voice on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And he used that capital letter, lower letter, but all they do in the NBA is travel. College hoops is better.
Dude, it's some bad
Drew
basketball.
Timmy in that one play switched his pivot foot 8 times on his way to the basket.
It wasn't even his only travel of the game. My God, dog. Like, no, forget that. But yes, incredible game. Very exciting. What a shot at the end. They had the right person on the call, too, in Kevin Harlan making that call. It was fun. It was fun. And Archie Diacono was a part of those kind of situations, man.
He's a part of history.
Part of history.
Bulls legend. I mean, I was saying to
show you
myself,
pictures
and I
with him.
think I said it to you, Will,
took
a moment
pictures
ago.
with Ryan?
I think that might be the grossest starting lineup in the NBA I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This Blazers starting lineup tonight. And then I was immediately like, oh, wait, no, I've seen worse. And they involved Archie in a Bulls jersey a few years ago.
There was
Walter
worse.
Lemon.
There was worse for the Trailblazers last year. I'm gonna find them.
Walter Lemon Jr.
I have to say though,
Two
there's
Samsons.
been a renaissance of former Bulls playing with other teams lately. Chris Dunn with the Jazz.
Chris Dunn!
Rory,
Dunn.
obviously.
Signed a contract for the remainder of the year
Two
after a
10
couple of 10
balled
days.
out, and I saw some clip of him doing an interview talking about like the mental and emotional hurdle of like having to get himself hyped up about playing in the G League. Like that dude's putting in work.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris Dunn.
Shout out
KD as
to
he
him.
calls himself, which I think is funny.
What do
But
you call
also,
himself?
KD. He's not KD.
No, he's not.
He's
But
KD, but he's not KD.
I do like the fact that he worked on his shot. If you watch his shot, his 3-point shot now, like you can tell he's been working on that, man. He's much more poised, much more relaxed, much calmer, and better coming off the bench. Like, so yeah, shout out to him for doing his thing. Shout out.
On the Bulls side of the injury report, meanwhile, DeMar DeRozan, who we saw leave that game and did not return on Wednesday night, ruled out. He was seen at Bulls shoot-around, not really fully participating, but I saw a tweet from Casey Johnson at NBC Sports Chicago saying that he saw DeMar at shoot-around with no visible limp, but then DeMar was ruled out. And Casey had a follow-up tweet after speaking with Billy about it pregame, saying Billy Donovan said DeMar is, quote, feeling better. The quad strain is not, quote, at the level it was before we went to Paris, end quote. Still not sure if he will play in L.A. on Sunday. So not great news that DeMar is out tonight, but maybe if we take a look at this Blazers lineup, you think maybe they can get away with not having DeMar tonight?
Yeah.
Let that vet rest.
Yeah, let that vet rest. I like that. That was really cool.
New segment.
Let that vet rest. Vet rest with Matt Peck.
DeMar is out, as you said, but the Bulls just dropped their starting lineup, and Caruso is in and starting.
Caruso in
they will
and
get him
starting.
back.
Who's the 5?
Patrick Beverly, Patrick Williams, Caruso, Zach, Vooch.
That makes sense. Meanwhile, Javonte Green, who was probable and then downgraded to questionable earlier today, ruled out. So Javonte, having come back from that long absence from his knee injury, now getting a night off. Caruso, who was out Wednesday, back in the lineup tonight. Good news, bad news.
Good news, bad news, man. He needs the rest. Let DeMar have it. See if he's ready for Sunday, when he plays the Lakers. Because, if he feels 50%, he's going to be out there playing against that team. So, yeah, this is a good game to rest on. You got the flying Archie Diaconos out there.
But don't you just
It's a good game to rest
you feel
on.
kind of bad for who knows the severity of any of these injuries on the Blazers' part? But if you're a Portland Portlandite, one who resides in Portland.
Yeah.
And you bought tickets for tonight's game, and you got to go watch a Damian Lillard-less, Nurkic-less, Jeremy Grant-less,
Anthony
DeMar-less,
Simons-less.
Anthony, like that's a bummer, man.
Hey, man.
And it's like, oh, you're resting your guys? Oh, rest some of mine.
Yeah. You rest, I rest.
You rest, I rest.
Jeff in the comments said San Diegans.
San Diego.
Yeah. Those are the people of Portland, San Diegans. All right, we got to take a quick break. Give a shout out to our friends at DraftKings. While we're doing that, hit that thumbs up button if you're watching pregame along with us on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. Of course, make sure you are also subscribed to our CHGO Sports YouTube channel. 28K and counting, y'all.
Ooh,
28.
Boom.
that's sexy.
Tonight's pregame brought to y'all by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Get them same-game parlays in for tonight's Bulls-Blazers action. You still got time. We got 15, 20 minutes till tip-off. Make your picks for your same-game parlay. And guess what? No sweat if it doesn't hit. That DraftKings no-sweat same-game parlay, if it doesn't hit, you're going to get a bonus bet back. I got my same-game parlay in tonight, and it involves Zach LaVine slinging dimes. It involves Zach LaVine hitting a few threes. It involves Vooch grabbing double-digit boards. And Shaedon Sharp scoring some points, because who else is going to score points for
Somebody
this Blazers
has
team
to.
tonight? Archie was not an option when I was checking for my bets on the Blazer side of things.
Man. So under 10 assists?
Maybe.
Okay.
Also, for all of you new customers signing up to DraftKings, brand new, don't forget that promo code CHGO when signing up to take advantage of that incredible offer on any NBA action to put $5 down on a bet and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, whether or not that bet hits or misses. Only when you use that promo code CHGO at sign up. Also, throw some bets on the freaking Sweet 16 action we got going on tonight.
Talk some on that.
I asked Joey if he was nervous about his Texas Longhorns tip off in just a few minutes here. He said, no, not nervous.
Not yet. I'm sure anxiety will set in because he's a fan. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, they got a chance.
I think he's just trying to play it cool. I think he's a nervous wreck on the inside.
Yeah, well, I say in the second half, if it's close,
Yeah.
he'll be into it. You'll see that nervousness come on out, you know. But hopefully they win, man. Let's go Texas.
I
You always have to play with the requisite fear, you know?
You
always have to.
Is that how you live life, Will?
No, that's a Steve Kerr line.
That's a Steve Kerr. Ooh, that's a flex right there.
It is.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
DraftKings users over Dylan Disu points. Take it and run.
There you go. There's
We're
another
talking
tip
about
from
bets.
Joey.
Joseph, who are we betting on first basket tonight?
Usually
Alexis
I would
is
say
dying to
obviously
know.
Zach LaVine, but with DeMar not being in tonight,
Arcidiacono?
his odds are a little bit
The value's not
hampered.
there.
It's not as good. Arcidiacono at 850. Okay, so Patrick Williams wasn't in before. Now he is on the update. So I'm going to go with Patrick Williams at plus 900.
We are back, baby.
We are back. You heard that, Alexis. I know you're in the comments. So we'll go Pat Will tonight. Ah, God. Should I throw a little sprinkle on Arcidiacono?
Why not?
Sprinkle it on, baby.
Why
A
not?
sprinkle dinkle.
What?
Hate to tell you.
Think of a sprinkle.
Matt, JR wants to know what's on the feet tonight.
This is my new pair of Jordan Dub Zeros. Got them today.
Very nice.
In white, obviously.
In white.
Okay, let's move on. Guys, there's some interesting stuff going on with Damian Lillard and the Blazers. He was making headlines recently following a Blazers loss. Before we get into the drama of Dame, though, let's just take a minute to acknowledge the season he's having. Even though he's not playing for them tonight, we need to show this man some respect because the Blazers are having a down year, but Dame isn't. He's averaging just over 32 points per game. Decent shooting splits, 46, 37, 91, so not 40% from three. Slinging 7.5 assists a game, 4.8 rebounds. The 32.2 points per game is a career high for Dame. In his age 32 season, he is averaging a career high in points per game, which is, as of right now, third in the NBA, by the way.
Damn.
He is third in the NBA scoring title race. Also, a career high usage percentage this season of 33.9.
He's special.
I mean, some things, whether it's Dame time or fine wine, just get better with age. My goodness.
He's a
What?
special
I mean,
player.
he's balling out.
15 games this year with at least 40 points. He has a 50-point game, a 60-point game,
Yep.
and a 71-point game.
Correct. He does have
Special is, I don't even know if Special cuts it. He is special. Something special. He's specialer than special.
Extra special?
He's extra
that.
special.
Extra special. Give him the extra.
Extra special.
Extra. Yeah, and he's been this way for years. Like, he's just been on a level of greatness that I don't think is appreciated enough because it's not seen. You know, he's not like Portland is constantly shown on television. And it's not like Portland is always in the playoffs, in the postseason play. So I don't think it's appreciated enough. I mean, he's got love, no question about it. But I think he deserves much more. Like, I remember Zach LaVine was talking about it when he was talking about greatest shooters. He was like, if you're talking about Steph, he was like, Dame's got to be right up there with him, man.
No question.
Like, he's got to be right there. And he's right. Like, when I think of greatest shots and things like that, it's funny how I don't think Steph immediately. The first thing that comes to my head is Dame Lillard and that shot he made, you know what I mean, against the Thunder. The wave, you know, second greatest
and
playoff
then Paul
shot.
George tried to say, that's a bad shot.
Right.
And everybody was like,
Come on, bro.
no, it was
Sorry.
a bad shot because that's Dame.
Sorry, bro.
Dame said it was a bad shot. It was a bad shot, but
But it was cash money.
it was cash money.
And that's what
Dame
it was,
has 6 games under 20 points. He scored under 20 points 6 times. He scored 40 or more 15 times.
That's scary.
Wild.
He's so special.
All
And even
that
at
to
the
say-
age he is, like, he's still that kind of special.
It's not just the shooting. It's like this
Right.
dude is unbelievable scorer. And also like the leadership, the charisma that he has,
Yeah.
like the way that he carries himself, and we'll probably talk about it, like with the interview that he had with JJ Redick. Like, this guy, I love listening to him. He is so smart, so just has such an interesting perspective about the game and the way that he wants his career arc to go.
Yeah.
And it's so respectable.
Yeah, he's doing it his way. And I mean that literally. It's not just, you know, word vomit. Like, he really is doing it the way he wants to do it. He's like, I don't care what you all think. You know, I'm not playing for y'all. Y'all won't think, like you said in the interview, y'all won't think about me, you know what I'm saying, when I'm off the court or when this is over with. Like, I have real life issues. You know what I'm saying? I have friends, like real friends and stuff like this. This isn't my life. It's just something I'm really good at. And, man, it's just special, and I'm glad he's in the league, and we have guys like this representing the sport that we love.
Well said. So the latest chapter of the ongoing Damian Lillard loyalty to Portland and is that finally drying up saga, and there have been many chapters of that over the last few years, came a few nights ago following a Blazers loss, and a reporter asked Dame essentially if Dame was encouraged by or enjoyed seeing some of the younger but looking to be core pieces of this Blazers team finding and figuring out their brand of basketball whilst going through a losing season like this. That's how the question was phrased. This was Dame's response to that question. That's not what I'm interested in. That's what the frustrating part of it is. Talking about what's going to happen next season and us building, that's not what I'm here to do, especially at this stage of my career, end quote. So obviously people heard Dame say that and went off on this next chapter of, is Dame finally going to tell people he's ready to leave Portland? You know, we've been talking about this with Dame since the breakup of him and CJ McCollum, which was a few years ago now.
Yes.
And even before that, people were talking about
Even
years
before that.
breaking those two guys up.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
And the interesting thing is it's always been oddly framed, at least I think, in that people wondering, is Dame too loyal? When so many of the other superstar players of Dame's caliber in the NBA these days are seizing that power that superstar players have sort of gotten over the last 5 to 10 years with these big contracts and with the help of their agencies to say, hey, I'm not happy where I am now. I would like a trade. Get me somewhere else. And their teams, their organizations, oblige on those requests.
Yeah.
And people saying, is Dame wasting his career away on a Blazers team that's made, I think they have one conference finals appearance back when he and CJ were playing together?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying that quote sounds like somebody who's finally going to go to the Blazers front office and ownership this summer and say, It's finally time. I've decided I want to move on. But it doesn't sound like someone who's happy being where he is and looking at the short road down the future as far as what awaits this Portland team.
Yeah. Let me say this as somebody who is, as my homegirl likes to say, blindingly loyal. And I am. It's one of my greatest gifts and greatest curses.
That's a flex.
One of my greatest gifts and curses is I am blindingly loyal.
That's why he hasn't left me yet.
Yeah, he's right. Dame is not going to be the one to say, I want to leave. And it's going to be the organization. He's going to make them make that decision.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the one to come out.
It's a game of chicken.
Exactly. He's not going to be the one to say those kind of things. Now, also to his point, in Portland, he's building a legacy that's going to get him a statue. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's the Dirk of Portland.
Correct. Without winning as much, without doing those things, but the loyalty that he has shown that city gets him that statue. Now, if he years ago says, I want to leave, he don't get that statue. He might get the plaque, you know what I mean? He might get the jersey retirement like that. But this is about to be his. You know what I mean? Lockdown, mine. Dame Lillard's Portland. It will be mine. He's going to get this statue. So that loyalty will be repaid when he's retires and he becomes the man out there. So that could be what he's building towards and things like that. But if he's talking about winning and doing all those things, it's not going to happen there. Clearly, it's not going to happen there. They've made their peace. You know, if you trade CJ McCollum, you're telling me you starting over. You know what I mean? Like, because you're not going to find somebody to that level just yet. I'm not saying Anthony Simons can't get there because he's really damn good. Yeah. But he's not at that CJ McCollum level.
Made the move to bring Jeremy Grant in, a solid complementary piece.
Right,
you know?
right.
And that's what I was going to get to, is that the reason they moved CJ was so that they could create the space to then go out and trade for Jeremy Grant. So I think the vision there is, we realize how good Dame is. We realize how much left he still has. Let's go out and get big wings who can shoot and be like secondary shot creators. We know we have Anthony Simons in the waiting. We don't need CJ as much. And but that's why they're in the situation they are.
Yeah.
To me though, that quote that does not scream get me out of Portland. It screams you better get me some help.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to do this summer. Hopefully the Bulls are a beneficiary of that, where the Blazers owe the rights to their pick, lottery protected, to the Bulls every year until 2024. If it falls in the lottery, they get to keep it. And that means that they cannot trade it multiple years out.
Right.
So in order to get that back, at some point they will have to give the Bulls something in order to receive the rights to that back.
Leave him with something.
That could be as soon as this summer, where they say, you know what, Bulls, you take X asset, we're going to get our pick back, and then we're going to package 3 picks and Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe, and we're going to go get ourselves a second star.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Grant's going to be our 3rd guy, and Yusuf Nurkic is going to be our 4th guy, and we'll cobble together the rest. I think that's kind of the vision that they have, but I do not think, because again, I agree, I don't think Dame is going to ask out. I think he's too loyal for that, and I don't think the Blazers, I think they realize what they have is the greatest player in franchise history, a guy who's going to get a statue. You don't just trade him.
But being there as long as he's been there, if you're Dame, are you starting to lose faith that they can build a winner around you? And like they've had turnover in their front office in dramatic fashion in the last few years. So there is that element to it. But I mean, if I'm Dame, what gives me the faith that it'll be any different if I do stick around and show that loyalty?
Well, and that's the other thing that was interesting about this podcast with JJ Redick, and I've only seen clips. I haven't seen the whole thing. But from what the context that I saw is, like, Dame's not like falling into the rings culture.
Right,
he does not. He does not care about. We're only going to talk about people as great if they have multiple rings.
Right.
He wants to have his career his way. I think part of that is playing in Portland, where he is, where his home is, where he's played his whole career. I just don't think. Obviously, he wants to win and he wants to do that at a high level, but I don't think it's to the point where.
But where is that line between believing in rings culture and wanting to be on a contending winning team? Because he said, as far as building and what's happening next season, that's not what I'm here to do, especially at this stage of my career. Yeah. That sounds like someone who's more interested in winning now at this stage of his career, which might not be technically rings culture, but He wants to win.
Yeah.
What's
and
the
that's-
difference?
Well, that's kind of what I mean by like I think they're looking to package their young players and picks to go get help to bring there. That would be my guess. Maybe that's not possible. Maybe they strike out and at a certain point they just have to dissolve the partnership. But like I just don't see Dame as a guy. I think there's so many people that at this point have like basically criticized him for not. It's almost out of spite. Like he's not going to do what you want him to do, what you think he should do. It's the same with Bradley Beal. And like, honestly, it kind of sucks that like we just, you can't have it both ways. Like the reason why Steph is because he is the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
He's the guy that like is the homegrown guy who has the good fortune of being in the right place at the right time with the right team and also being a transcendent all-time great superstar.
Having the right front office.
And that working. But like it doesn't work that way for everyone.
Yeah.
LeBron's moved 4 times. Like I just
Chris
and then we
Paul.
criticize him for not being loyal. So
Yeah,
you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
And I think Dame is kind of like sick of that notion too. That's just what I've picked up on. Obviously, I don't know him or know what he's about.
I don't think there should be any criticism for Dame being loyal to Portland,
Right.
the city, the organization, for whatever reasons he has, and I think that those should be valid reasons. But it is interesting to just wonder if, I mean, that it sounds like someone who wants to win and doesn't know if it's going to happen there.
Yeah.
And like you said, Will, maybe it's him putting pressure on that team to build more of a competitive roster around him. But he said stuff like this many times over.
And nothing's
going
happened.
over the last several years of his career with this one organization, and it never gets that extra bump to championship contention.
Yeah.
So it's like, him saying stuff like this while remaining loyal is sort of like slamming your head against the wall and hoping things improve.
That's
So,
what
okay,
loyalty is, man.
just because I am me and want to have a silly, fun thought exercise, I'm not saying this is at all likely. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if Dame, as many superstar NBA players over the last several years have done, goes to his team this summer and says, I want to move. I want out. Are the Bulls a team that should call Portland and ask what that price tag is?
Oh, how
This Bulls team
29 teams should be the team that
right,
do that.
Right.
How quick can you pick up the phone? Yeah.
as we sit here and say, boy, what would be nice? Having a point guard.
Nice. And a really great one.
Really good one.
Be awesome. Be awesome to have. Yeah, like absolutely the Bulls should be in that talk. Like
And
why
I
wouldn't
think
they be?
people
Like
in
you
the
said, all
comments have
29
said,
teams, no question.
what could the Bulls offer in such a trade?
What you want?
Which, speaking of,
It's Dame Lillard, bro.
Dame's got
want?
$45.5 million on his contract next season.
Okay.
He already exercised his player option for the final year of his contract in 24-25, which is just under $49 million.
Woo.
And he's got to be
His-
up for a supermax extension that's
Right.
going to
Woo.
And he
Carry him
currently
through
has a
age
trade
37.
restriction that lifts July 9th this summer.
Checks. Get your money, Dame. Get your money, sir.
I mean, the Bulls could hypothetically offer 2 of their 3 stars. Vooch would obviously have to be a sign and trade.
Sure.
And then a couple of their young players, and it would be further down the road, but a draft pick or 2, and then also just giving Portland's draft pick that they
Deal.
owe us back to them. That's just the rough outline of a hypothetical package.
Deal.
I don't know if that would be
Depends.
enticing enough for Portland if they were going to finally actually hit the reset button
Right.
and move on from the Dame Lillard era.
Yeah, they're gonna get many. I think they're gonna get better
But,
offers.
Ain't
from a
no
Bulls fan's
way
perspective, the question
another team
is,
is not beating
would
that
you
offer.
want the Bulls to call? If Dame says to the Blazers this summer, I want out.
You better call
Absolutely.
immediately. Like I said, bro, here, take my phone. Like call immediately. Immediately you call and you see. Like I said, like you're gonna. I think there's gonna be better offers for sure.
100%.
But you should be doing everything in your power. Talk 3-team trades, talk 4-team trades. I don't care. But do everything in your power to get this person to your team when you know how vital that position is here for the Chicago Bulls. Once you just get one, see how better that they are. And they got a bottom of the barrel one and they look better. But yeah, man, it's Dame Lillard. You do whatever you can to get superstars. That's what you do.
What do you think would be the best fit? I don't think the Bulls have a chance.
What are you talking about?
I don't think the Bulls have a chance. I just don't think they have the assets. And what's interesting about the league right now is that 3 or 4 teams have already given up everything they have, right?
Yeah.
The Timberwolves aren't trading anybody anytime soon. The Hawks probably can't unless they trade one of Trey or DeJounte.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Like, I think obviously like the Lakers would be awesome with LeBron, but like they don't really have much to offer. I would love to see him in Oakland because that's where he's from, and I think that would be awesome.
You would, Will.
The Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah, but like, what do these teams have to trade?
The Bucks. Oh my God, that
he's
would be
been
terrifying.
rumored with Milwaukee just for a long time.
Yeah, that would
the
be terrifying.
Respect of the staying in the smaller.
So giving up Drew
market.
Holiday.
Dear God, please no.
So I was on. I'm in. In the Bucks Twitter corners. They were talking
That's
hypothetically.
a scary place to be.
If they flamed out, would you trade Holiday and Middleton and go all in on the Giannis Dame combo? It's a lot to give up.
Yeah.
I cannot think of a more unstoppable pick and roll.
Dude, you do what you want. Like, even with him and Lopez, that would be vicious. Like,
Yeah.
him and Bobby Portis, that would be super nice. Like, oh my God, yes, whatever you got to do to get Dame Lillard on your team, you do it. Period, point blank. That is the answer every damn time. Period. He's a superstar. He's not a star. He's a superstar. And so you make the sacrifices to get
special.
superstars.
Extra
Extra
special.
special. Extra special.
Extra special sauce.
Extra special. Will the Go Got League.
James in the comments. Dame's not fixing this team. Other teams, yes, of course.
What?
Love
Yeah.
that optimism.
That is a
James.
Bulls fan. Hey, man, you're a Bulls fan,
Man.
baby. Shout out to you. Shout out. You'll fix every other team. Bulls, nah.
Charles saying, I'm not sure Dame would be in a better situation here than he is in Portland right now. Well, the Bulls have a few more wins than the Blazers do right now.
Few more wins.
They have a few less draft picks too.
You less draft. That's right.
Oh, man. I'm just fascinated by this because it always keeps coming up with Dame.
Yeah.
And the answer has always been throughout his career, staying loyal, staying in Portland, please get me better help.
Yeah.
And that quote sounded like him doubling down on that sentiment. It seems unlikely from most people's perspective that I've heard that he will leave. I'm just saying I would not be shocked if this summer is finally the time when Dave says, for real, I want out.
Yeah. Wouldn't be shocked at all, man. And if you do, here. Today, call.
How many phones you need,
Call.
AK?
All right? Just call, dog. All right?
All right, we are just after the 9 o'clock hour here in Chicago. That means tip-off is right around
Watch
the
some
corner.
basketball.
Get in some of those
Whoop their
last-second
ass.
bets. We got multiple TVs. We'll have Sweet 16 action on while we watch some Bulls West Coast late-night action.
Go, Texas.
Friday night, late-night hoops. Come
Hook
on,
'em.
Joey's Longhorns.
Hook
Hold 'em.
'em.
I just want Joey to be in a good mood, so I'm going to root for Texas.
Hold 'em horns. Ain't that right, Joey?
I believe it's Hook 'em.
It's hook 'em horns? Really?
Hook 'em.
It's hook
Hook 'em.
'em? Really? I didn't know that.
We will be right back here on set for post-game for all you late-night folks out there. In the meantime, Will _Gottlieb, Big Dave, Bow, BAWL Sports, and Bulls _ Peck. Get Joey to 1K. He's so close. At Joey Spathis.
Hold 'em horns.
We're CHGO _Bulls. Come on, Bulls. This looks like a layup, right? Get the dub. We'll come back and talk about it. See you, be good.
2 Samsons. Peace.